Had to grab one of the best attorneys in the country, immigration lawyers, Joseph Patrick Murphy. Good morning, Joseph. How are you, brother?
Good morning, Marty, and thanks for that nice compliment.
Well, you're the man. Last time we spoke to him live, he was representing a Carnegie Mellon student who they were jacking with over his visa. How did it work out with that young man, sir?
That worked out great.
Right.
That student has had his visa reinstated, and he's finishing up his undergraduate this fall.
Joseph,
Nice ending.
You're watching this stuff in L.A. Your reaction, please,
Yes.
as an expert in this area.
Well, look, for anybody, it's horrifying to see a city explode into chaos like that. There's long simmering tensions. There's a lot of emotion around this subject. There are few areas of the law that are as emotional as immigration. It's in our traditions as a people and a country. And I think, this crackdown, this thousands of people a day, was sold to us as a country on the premise that we're going to start with the criminals.
Right.
And I think we're all slowly beginning to realize that they think everybody who came in illegally is a criminal by definition. And I think there's a disconnect between what we thought this roundup would be of hardened criminals. And now they're at least around here in Western Pennsylvania, they're sweeping up 18-year-old kids, a couple guys in a work truck. They're not doing. It's not what I thought they meant. And I think a lot of other people are having the same realization, and they're getting really angry about it.
Yeah, Taylor that I know in Carnegie, who's been at it for more than 20 years, who does great work. He got swept up. A 3-year-old in L.A., a kid on the way to a volleyball practice in Connecticut.
Yep.
It appears as if they're having difficulty finding the quote-unquote criminal, so the plan now, Joseph, is to snatch anyone. Is that what you take, sir?
Well, right. And that was the original thing was we're going to go after the criminals. Then they said we're going to go after the criminals and anybody we find with them that happens to also be illegal. We're not going to just ignore that. But it doesn't appear to be focused on criminals at all anymore. They're on the Homan and these people are saying point blank, well, we believe anybody who entered the country illegally is a criminal. So it's all of them now. And that, I believe, to a certain extent, criminals are not members of civil society in the way that everybody else is. They're outcasts. They're outlaws. Most people don't mind that sort of element being removed from society, but other people who fit in, went to high school here, or working straight jobs, driving cars, in some cases we're counting on them to do things, ripping them out of society. There's friendships, relationships, love interests, families, businesses that are dependent upon them. It's a recipe for chaos.
Joseph, Patrick Murphy from the Allegheny Immigration Group. Do you have a significant number of immigrants who are freaked out right now, sir? Freaked out.
It's gone through the roof, Marty. We don't have the resources. Our immigration system here in the United States is very small. Here in Western Pennsylvania, we have 2 law schools, Pitt and Duquesne. Pitt has 1 2-credit course. Duquesne has none.
Whoa.
It's not tested on the bar exam. We don't have the resources.
Wow. I saw a booth set up with a little girl selling lemonade. Her dad was this tailor that was snatched up and taken away from Carnegie. It's gut-wrenching, is it not, sir?
Oh, my God. The similar situation. It was an 18-year-old boy who came in with his mother, claimed asylum, was dutifully going to their ICE check-ins, and that was fine until he turned 18, and it was a birthday. They didn't think much of it. Mom took her son to the ICE check-ins as ordered in full confidence that she was complying, and they arrest her kid right in front of her. And the horror that mother felt, feeling like, she should have known better or something like that. Now they're in here in this very office. And the mom, they're crying. They're horrified. Why is this happening? And you've got an 18-year-old boy locked in immigration detention up in Phillipsburg. And it takes like 2 weeks to get somebody out of there. This is a terrible situation.
Hey, Joseph, it's fascinating, actually, this conversation, because I agree with you. Most Americans say to hell with them. They're here illegally, deport them. Seriously.
Right.
Why do we as Americans feel that way when many of our parents or grandparents came here the same way? Why?
That's a good question, Marty. I mean, again, I don't know that as many of us feel that way as we've been told. Clearly, most of us feel like criminal elements, risk of harm, people hurting Americans, selling drugs, all that stuff. I don't think there's much debate over sending them out. But now when you get into the debate over whether a larger society wants to throw all of them out, I don't know that that's really there. I don't see it. I see a lot of people making a lot of talk, but when you say things like, how does that look when you start ripping people out of families? People don't. I think what the appetite for is to push a button and have it not happened. Okay, and I could understand that, and that's fine, but it's a little bit childish. Implementing and doing this involuntary arrest and deportation of millions of people, it really does threaten, and I've been saying this for weeks, a civil war, and you're seeing that play out now on the streets of the bigger cities. I suspect we'll see that in more cities shortly. I have word of a planned protest even here on the 14th.
Oh.
So, yes.
So, Joseph, do we have the numbers of immigrants to create that kind of havoc in Pittsburgh? And is there concern about that, sir?
I don't think it's the immigrants that are creating the havoc. I mean, I'm sure there are some of them involved in these protests. I think it's the citizens, regular Americans, perhaps people with green cards that are protesting. Most of the unlawful migrants, or whatever you want to call them, the irregular migrants that are in the United States now, they're laying pretty low. I doubt they'd be getting involved in street protests. Yeah.
Joseph Patrick Murphy, Allegheny Immigration Group, the best. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, man.
Always a pleasure, Marty. Thanks. Bye-bye.
He is the best. It's amazing. So, what do you say? Pitt has one class in immigration law and Duquesne has none. Wow.